I'm joined by Ostasiewski from Adjoe. How are you doing?
So far, so good. Started the morning right with a coffee, hanging out at the booth, the usual checklist for a conference.
Yeah, it's the essentials, isn't it? You tick them off. Well, we're early doors, but it's already getting quite busy and leery, so I'm looking forward to going downstairs once these are over and forcing through the crowds with the camera.
Yeah, definitely force through the crowds. It's pretty busy down there.
So what is it that Adjoe does for folks who maybe haven't heard of you before?
Yeah, for sure. So we're an ad tech company that focuses on changing the way that apps are doing user acquisition and monetization. What does that mean? We try to develop new ad formats so that we can add something different and diverse to your ad stack. Or if you're looking for new users, we're looking to give you a new source of traffic through a format that is conducive to encouraging gameplay.
The format thing is the trick, isn't it? Because it's changed so much over the years. When it was just banner ads at one point, and then it shifted to kind of video became the thing, and that's the way that you deliver, and then interactive video became the thing as well. So how has that space changed since you've been in the industry? What's the thing you're most excited about?
Okay, that's really cool because I've been in the industry for like 4 years now, and it's been a really exciting time to be part of it, especially first with the pandemic, and then with the changing user sentiment towards ads. And being an ad-based company, this is really exciting for us. But you first see headlines since, I don't know, early 2020. Users are looking for ads. Ads are the way to encourage gameplay. Rewarding your users in an in-app currency of a publisher's app is the way to extend a user's retention in the publisher's app and increase their gameplay. So this is something that from our side is super exciting to see. You see the numbers with reports from Facebook Audience Network, and with these numbers coming out that the users are shifting their gameplay to be more receptive of ads, not just focusing on in-app purchases as a monetization model. We're seeing from our side a lot more gaming companies move away from just an IAP model and start testing adding rewarded video. And then once they see the results with rewarded video, they start thinking, let's move towards other kinds of ad models, trying audio ads, trying things like Adjoe's Playtime. The shifting landscape over the past few years since I started is really cool to see because it adds a bit of ad creativity into a game.
It feels like there was a little climate shock at first. Whenever things change, there's a period of adjustment, and people maybe bounced off. Certainly, in-app purchases were very controversial initially, and I feel like everyone's just kind of accustomed to it now.
Yeah.
And I think the ad model as well, where it's ads popping up, you watch for 30 seconds, people found them very kind of interruptive at the beginning, and they were like, oh, I'm not sure. But now everyone just understands that's kind of the way these things work, so it becomes part of it. And as you say, incentivizing people with the ads, people now are actually looking for them in a way that they weren't before.
And to jump off what you just said, it's not just about throwing an interstitial in there. I mean, I can go downstairs and have hundreds of conversations with developers who love interstitials. Hyper casual hangs on interstitials as a main revenue stream. A lot of games also focus on interstitials, but at the same time, they may give you a stable increase in revenue, but are they improving your user's experience? That I don't know. What I can say is we're seeing with the shift towards users focusing more on rewarded videos, things like playtime. I mean, even like an old school offer wall, users are looking for the ads that bring them something. And by bringing them something, then they're going to enjoy the publisher's game even more because maybe right now they don't have the time to make the money to make the in-app purchase. Well, so it's just a trade-off.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a very strange time, not just the pandemic, but now we've come out into, hey, it's economic crisis, brilliant. It's like one thing after the other. And obviously that means people maybe have a little less spare money to throw around. Are you finding this kind of model is more attractive to those who maybe don't want to spend in-app purchases or are a bit more reluctant to do that thing these days?
Yeah, and I from our side at Adjoe, I think that it's definitely the case. It's not just the gaming companies that are looking for more revenue streams outside of the traditional scope. It's also kind of answering what the users are looking for, and it's not just by adding the rewarded video or the other formats. It's also, if you look at some of the numbers, I just read something from Adjust yesterday from their CEO Kate Madding, saying that according to Adjust numbers, more and more gaming users are opting in for the personalized ads after IDFA than ever before. What does that say? It says that users want to have a personalized ad experience within their games. It was something like 20% higher opt-in rates for games than ever before. And this is coming from a part of the industry that 4 years ago when I started, looked at ads like it was the death of their game. Now it's becoming more of the savior of their game because you're getting that lost revenue in a challenging time by diversifying your streams.
I feel like lots of experience, and maybe social media has a great deal to do with this, where people want an algorithm tailored to their tastes. They want TikTok to deliver the videos that they know that they like. And I think more and more people are like, no, actually do learn from me, do actually give it, which is tricky because data protection has become that much more tight. Recently, the GDPR stuff has come in. I think people have had to adjust a lot in the way they handle data. Have you found that with your company and the way that you manage folks' personal information?
So from our side, we've always had a user opt-in since we've started. It's a core part of our model. So I'm a big fan of personalization because it shows it in the numbers. If you're showing the user the right ad for them, they're more likely to engage and enjoy. Why is that important? Well, first, an advertiser is getting a user that they know they're going to enjoy the game. And then from the monetization side, you're going to show an ad that the user is going to like. So is the ad experience super disruptive if you're getting something you like? I don't know, because from our side, we see that personalized touch, and then that rewarded connection really drives a positive user experience, increasing session times, increasing the amount of times the user returns to the publisher's app. And then from an advertiser, if you get a happy user, you probably want more of them.
So has that allowed you to sort of stay, I guess, maintain growth during a somewhat tricky period, I guess?
For sure. I think that, like I said, looking at the changing landscape, there's obvious challenges that arise from that. People see sinking eCPMs and they think, oh no, what do we do? People see that, but we do see that users are spending more time on their phones. So how can you kind of marry the challenge with something that people are still inclined to do? For us, we're focusing on adding more revenue streams and in a way that's conducive to the user's mobile behavior. So for us at Adjoe, we created a format called Playtime, and it rewards users for their time spent playing mobile games. What more do you want from that? The users are going to spend how many hours or how many minutes a day on their phone playing games? Multiple. So if we're able to tie revenue, rewards in a publisher's app to something they're doing anyway, then it gives them a reason to play mobile games longer and more often anyway.
We've been lucky enough to actually have a physical event after quite a big gap for Helsinki anyway. Last time was 2019. From your perspective, coming out of the lockdown and everything else, what are the benefits or the differences to being at physical events again versus the endless Zoom conferencing?
Honestly, it's the conversations you have on the side. Of course, the past 2 years at home were very isolated and things like that, and people are a little bit slow to get back into it. But you have some of your best conversations with people you've been working with for the past 2 years outside of a fixed 30-minute Zoom session. It's for being here, being on the ground, sharing what you learn. It's been probably the best part of getting back to it. And then at the same time, of course, going for drinks and having a nice dinner. This is what's cool about the industry is everyone's here to meet, everyone's here to have interesting conversations, and you can probably learn something new every 5 minutes if you're open to it.